Commission of November 4th, 2024 to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Thuzius,
Here.
Commissioner Johnson,
Here.
Commissioner Francois, Commissioner Brochus,
Here.
Trustee Brunner, Trustee Kettlebeater,
Here.
and Village President Langfeld.
Here. Please stand for a pledge of allegiance. All right.
Right.
Yeah, why don't we pull that out?
You can't. Oh, you can't go.
Oh, that's okay. Wonder why they flipped them. That's all right, let's just go. I'll move them back. I'll move it back over here. That's why I was over here. There's more room.
Just keep the whole, I mean,
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can you make a note that, Dr. Cho, Dean?
Yep.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, public comment. This is an opportunity for anyone to address the plan commission on any issue. Please observe the time limit of 3 minutes. While the plan commission encourages input from residents, it may not discuss or act on any issue that is not duly noted. Do we have anybody? No? Anybody on the computer? No? All right, we'll go to general business. Approval of the minutes from October 7th, 2024, Plan Commission meeting. Make motion to approve that?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. We have discussion. Just to know, I'll abstain since I was not here. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
All opposed, same. So moved. Number 2, discussion on advertising signs in Bear Park. You saw the memo on that. It is correct that those signs are not within our sign ordinance. So there's again 2 options, just so everybody knows. The village charges businesses to put those signs on. That money goes into the park improvement plan, program or account, whatever we call it. So what I'm looking for tonight is, are we in favor of enforcing that or changing the ordinance to allow for that to continue? Judy?
I'm for allow it to continue, just change it for the fact that the businesses do pay for those, for the signs, and they still pay, I believe, an annual, I think we still pay an annual fee also for those. So I wouldn't want to have everybody go through and rechange and redo their signs, because it would be costly.
All right. Bill?
I agree. I think we should change our sign policy to allow signs on public grounds in the park.
All right. Kevin and then Doug?
Also agree with the staff's recommendation to change the Village of Cross Plains sign code.
All right, Doug?
But
I'm sorry.
cautioning, I guess, just to be careful that it doesn't go too far, and that it's very specific.
Yeah, well, we'll get, when everybody's done, I'll give you what I'm thinking of doing if Village fails.
Similar comments, I'm strongly in favor. It's an opportunity that has allowed for some nicer amenities at their park, but it's also something that could help us when the pool comes, when other things come. You go to these other folks, other communities, there's a lot of these types of sponsorships and signage programs, and it can help us maintain some higher end amenities at a discounted rate to the taxpayer. Very strongly in favor of amending and changing our ordinance.
All right, Seth?
Yeah, I'm in favor of vaccines.
All right.
Try to do our rec programs and I see reason not to want.
So what my suggestion was going to be is that mine was gonna be much more narrow than what you were talking about, Doug. Mine was gonna be basically allowing the signage on the fencing of the ball diamonds in Bear Park. Cause that's where they have it. I don't know if we want them to be around the pool, but. You know, I was doing a more narrow scope on. On an exception to it.
Yeah, we do currently have them on the scoreboard too, so it's
Yeah,
scoreboard
yeah,
and fence, okay,
Yeah.
just wanted to clarify.
I'm open to making the change, having it be specific, but I'm also very open.
Sure.
Making sure we keep that in mind as.
Yeah, we can certainly always.
Even tastefully, not NASCAR, in this building too, I mean, there are ways to do things, like, I think there's good opportunities for.
Bill,
I like the idea of having it around the pool because we have so much competition. You know, the people come into the community, you know, for regional events. It would. I think if we did it correctly, I think it wouldn't be a hindrance. I think it'd be a positive gain for us to be able to do that around the pool. Just my thought.
yeah, the only reason the pool, I have two conflicts. One, the signs would be so people in the library would be seeing the back of these signs. Because they'd be on the inside of the fencing. Number two, the Stingrays, they have sponsorship and they have a board. They wouldn't really wanna necessarily have direct competition with them. So. You know, right now they have sponsorship that goes to their program. Seth, and then Kevin.
I like the way it's worded in here, just talking about engage at the location, because I'm even beyond the existing pool, like, okay, if we build a new pool at their park, that issue with the library looking at it, as I'm thinking about the mountain bike course, is like, what if there's a bike shop that wants to sponsor and have a small sign out there or something that, I'm not saying that automatically would, but you know, that would support maintenance of that. Other activities.
We're still good with the signage that we have for temporary signage when people have like the cross-country event and the pancake event and trout day, those are all still totally okay. It's more they have limits of like 30 days, this and that, you know, short term, while this would be a little bit longer term than, it doesn't fit into the short term.
Right. and that's-
So if someone's sponsoring an event at the bike thing, they can certainly put up their sign.
I wasn't saying sponsoring an event, they're sponsoring
The business.
advertising the facility or advertising themselves at the facility. And that bringing revenue to support the maintenance of the ongoing facility. So it's, I like how it's written in there where it's. For the Lake Geneva example, where it's engaged at the location where the sign is displayed, it's general, so that we can use this beyond just the baseball field, the pool.
Okay. All right. That's. All right. Anybody else? Kevin?
Yeah, I think the here and now, the today is the ball diamonds, and that's pretty easy. I think everybody here is in favor of that. That's pretty, you know, a layup. The pool, I will add that during meets, everybody's standing around the pool. You don't want to block the view of the pool.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
So that's just, you know, I don't think we could do it there now. And then other sites, I guess I could be in favor of that maybe, but I do worry about the hassle. And also, you know, Mike or the rec department really watches over the signs at the park, the ballpark. And he comes to our business all the time, and that's a hassle to do all that. And I don't want to put it on our administrator to oversee all these signs. So I guess I'm leaning toward just staying a little bit more narrow now, and if in a year or 2 or 3 we decide that, hey, there is this greater opportunity, we can go back and work it up again.
Okay. Doug, and then.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I think that's the best step to take tonight, and then just. If you ever go into the library, there's also some nice signage about some big owners. I think there's just creative ways to do it tastefully. I think it's tastefully on there, and I think we should keep our eye on that, but it's also a big opportunity we might not hit enough.
Seth?
This goes to a conversation Kevin and I were having right before the meeting. I'm thinking, I didn't think about this before, disc golf course. A lot of courses that I've been involved in. installation of, the holes are sponsored. And that helps provide the money maybe to put in the course in the first place and for ongoing maintenance. And with this ordinance, if we didn't change it, would that preclude us from having that opportunity? Like there, it's on the T sign, it would say hole 2 over the map, sponsored by Crossroads Coffee.
I would think, we would have to do something a little bit more in depth, because now you're talking about sponsorship,
Well, that's what this
naming
is.
rights. No, this is advertising.
This is sponsorship.
Well, I see a clear difference. While the business is seeing it as advertising, here someone's paying $400 to put their sign on there. Someone else, which in your case is saying, we'll pay for the hole and we'll put your name on, kind of like what we do with benches with people.
It's either.
I see, well, I think there's, and here's the, I think there's, those sponsorships are forever.
Not necessarily.
Well, I guess,
Like fans, not like the Brewers Stadium was sponsored and then they changed it.
I've seen.
yeah, because they, sold it out.
The
Yeah.
example that I've seen courses where maybe it's not well defined and people are paying something and the sign goes, the name goes on the sign and then. Down the road, it falls in the disrepair or whatever, it's like, it's a one-time thing. I've also seen ones where it's a $50 annual sponsorship fee. They collect that every year to keep their name on the T sign, on the kiosk or whatever. And so it could be kind of an annual sponsorship thing. That's not necessarily just paying for the construction of that, so it's to support ongoing operations of it. That's right.
Okay, I understand. I just see that as a bigger discussion point. Like I say, I was hoping just to keep it very narrow now and see it, because when you open the door of, that'd be like, are we gonna let someone sponsor the community room? I mean, that some places do that, right? A conference room or this, some police departments are selling advertisement on their SWAT cars. I mean, that's I think a bigger discussion to have. I think what we're doing right now is, it's been, as long as I can remember, having those signs on the ballpark fences and the scoreboard. It's a matter of, to me, I just wanna try to maintain that. I think it's a bigger discussion on how we want to more expand on that. So, I mean, it's something that we can certainly, if this group has an interest, we can put it on a future agenda, but I would like to resolve the current situation now, it's not like it's that hard to change ordinances.
And while I'm kind of thinking about it, or while we're thinking about it, do we want to define, just like for the ball field, if that's what we're talking about, do we want to define in our ordinance, material and size? Not to exceed, not, because
I think that's already in there.
They're all the same size.
Yeah, I think that's,
So,
it's in there, it's a matter, that's not where, the matter is, you're not allowed to do off premise billboards or whatever, whatever they're classified. It's in, I can't remember the term. What is it, Michael?
I don't think there isn't any regulation on these because these currently aren't allowed. When you start allowing off-premise advertising, the only place in town that I know aside from here was the billboard on the side of Culture Emblem, the only billboard we have that's an off-premise advertising that's allowed. So it's grandfathered in.
But if there's
when
a-
Mike was in control, or rec department was
Yeah.
in control, all the signs are the same exact length and width and size, is fine.
Oh, yeah, the banners that he's planning on putting up, he has them certain sizes, and I had spoken to him, and he had sort of talked about putting that size into the ordinance, since sure, he knew what he wanted. He was talking about, we're gonna limit this, and he was even talking about possibly the size of the signs on the scoreboards, because here, he knows what size he wants to sell them. So he was kind of thinking about including that.
Yeah, well,
great, perfect. I just want to make sure that doesn't get lost.
No, we'll put that in.
And even number, I think, he can, he has a certain number that
Right.
it can't exceed
Mhm.
or something.
I will talk to him and we'll get something in there.
Anything to add, Sonia, at all? I see her on there.
Thanks, Carly. I just wanted to comment on, I think, two specific points after listening to the discussion. I understand that there's, the impetus for this is one specific property and we want to address that issue. But this is in the zoning code, and a general sort of approach to zoning or a principle is that there should be uniform rules across zoning districts. So rather than singling out one specific park, for example, my recommendation would be to address this through the park zoning district. And then that would apply to the other properties that are zoned in that district. So I understand that might not be, there might be pros and cons to that at other locations, like the pool. But generally, it's not advised to sort of have different rules for properties that are situated in the same zoning district. So that's one point that I would offer. And then the second point, there was some conversation about commercial businesses and changing the rules there. Jay was mentioning maybe that's a conversation held for another day. But I, again, just wanted to draw that distinction between properties that might be in an institutional type zoning district like parks and allowing limited use of off-premise advertising versus opening the door in commercial districts and basically permitting what could be billboards or off-premise signs throughout the village. I think that would be a really big change that might warrant more discussion.
Thanks, Sonia.
All right. Sounds good. We'll continue to work on that then. All right. Number 3 is discussion and possible action on the village comprehensive plan, chapter 5. This was Judy, I believe.
Yes, it was, and I told Carly, this is a real rough draft, and we're gonna chat about it. And when I tried to print, my color didn't come on there, but a lot of it was, right, I was color coding them, and then when I printed, they weren't color coded. But obviously, the very first up on the corner, as far as a lot of this had to do with the space needed for the, Village Hall and Police Department, so can we just take that off? That was my question, like in red, I have that.
Yes.
Yes, I feel like that's just.
That is being taken, has been, most of it's been taken care of.
Right, and that's a
Will
huge
be shortly taken care of.
section of this. And then as far as the sanitary sewer system, actually, we went to Jerry, helped us with that, correct? So this is.
Yeah, it will need some updates, but I mean, ultimately, it's in a good place. But he just said that there'll just need to be a couple of updates that'll have to happen, so.
Yeah, and the same for the water supply, correct?
Yep, same for water.
So,
Mhm.
That, and I'm pretty sure what they're referring to was the study on putting well 3 in, and we've already put well 3.
Right.
And up to well 2, so that can be totally changed a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
so a lot of this will have to be
The
completely
zoning of
revamped.
the water distribution system is something we're talking about now, right?
Mhm.
Talking about going to a 2-zone system instead of a 1-zone.
Yep.
So that can stay in, but you're right. That whole thing with the 94 study in 2001, that's when the well should have been made.
Right.
Right. The stormwater management, did he say anything about that? What is it about the next?
Probably some rewrite in here too, I think. Just to update some of these numbers.
And then obviously the solid waste disposal, facility that had expired in the year of 2020, but I wasn't sure what we do there for the next. Yeah,
Did we sign
We can put the updated.
I thought we signed a 7-year contract, so I think we're good until 2027, if I'm remembering. That's
I'll
what-
double check the contract.
Yeah, that's when we were in the library meeting.
Post office still located the same place. Let's see, our fire station, all that at the moment, everything was correct down there.
Can we just take out one word?
Yeah.
It's minor, but it says the Berry Cross Plains Fire District facility was recently upgraded to 2007. That was 14 years ago. Can we just take out the word recently?
Oh, yeah. Was upgraded? Yes. Yeah, I didn't touch that. Good job. I checked with Tony as far as the law enforcement, and those numbers are all correct at the moment. I got that off from Tony. At the moment, we're still located here. Let's see, healthcare facility, we still have we still have on Brewery Road, the Crestlands Clinic. We kind of, and I didn't know, like, I mean, it does support everybody, so I didn't know if we really had to say, all the areas are with Rouse. So I just kind of, I updated that just to say all the surrounding areas, including Murder Hospital, St. Mary's, PW Hospital, and then the VA clinic. The library, so that I did not do anything with, but I didn't know if we needed to do anything with. There's probably, like you say, it's not recent. I mean, that was in 2000.
Well, this is just explaining it, that's all, I mean,
I
yeah.
feel like that's fine.
yeah.
The schools was the toughest, because we've added schools since the last time it was out, so I actually copied and pasted a lot of it from the Middleton Crestline Schools, from the
Okay.
website. So that's, and I copied the map from the the website. So I had, taken out the old map, put in the new map, so that all came from their website. As far as the childcare facilities in town, at the time this was done last time, we had a few of them, but now I feel like we only have one. It's the one on Rubin Street, the one in the
Yeah.
Andrews building.
Yeah.
That's the only one I know of.
That's the only one we got, cause I had a
Yeah.
question mark about that.
Yeah,
I don't think we have any.
I don't think we have any other ones, and I tried to look around and
You
that's the
want-
one I could.
Obviously, Park Bank took one of them.
Yeah.
Now, there are quite a few home.
No, I know, but for,
Like Julie Brownsley, she was my granddaughter, but it's only like 5 kids, I wouldn't consider that.
no,
No, and
Yeah.
you know, the one right there at Finnis and.
No, like- but like there used to be the one over on Main Street
Mm-hmm.
and that's gone.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
So
Yeah.
unless you think there's more, but that's. the
No,
one
I-
The only one would have been the one on Main Street, and I thought that was gone, but it might,
She
I've
has 5
never seen-
kids, my grandbaby goes there, and it's just 5 kids she
Oh.
has, and it's just
Okay.
a certain age, and I think once they're gone.
Is it a business name?
No,
Okay, then I wouldn't worry about it.
no,
Yeah.
no. So that's 5, that was what I was thinking, so I don't know. Parks and Rec facility, I copied and pasted again, I'm really good about that, that came from our website. And that came from there, and then I did ask Mike to look it over as far as like the chart,
Mm-hmm.
because the one thing that was,
Well, hold on.
was the new one over by you.
Yeah, well, do we have sand volleyball court? Anyone to do?
yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
over by Fair Park.
Fair Park.
Right between small and big town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cause I know there was one over by me, and they took that out,
Oh, there is one over there.
and now it's the basketball court, but,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Behind the tennis courts.
Okay, great.
yeah. You can.
Can you just, Carlos, or can you scroll back?
Of course.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't. This is- we have the-
Oh, yeah, that was blue too,
Yeah.
that we need to add that.
No, just, yeah, you go up.
Of course.
Just looking at that. Keep going.
14 Parks was.
Yes. Pickleball.
Oh. Yeah, pickleball was on there, but I didn't know about the acreage. Is it 60? When did I say that? Did I copy? 14 Parks with 66 acres or 60? I would have to look that up again.
I think you put 66.
Okay.
Cause I think it was 63 and then we gained 3.
Right, so the blue was crossed off in 66.
Mhm.
So did we wanna add pickleball and softball, baseball and stuff on this chart?
Right, so that's why I seek that out to Mike, so that on that chart that we could add the Hillenbrand Park. And then add those columns. Is what you're saying, like on the chart,
Well,
it says volleyball.
the park's already there.
right, but pickleball's
Pickleball,
not on that chart.
Oh, I see.
Pickleball, right, and
Right.
softball,
And I didn't know
baseball
how to
on
do
the
the
chart.
Right.
Hmm.
So that's what right, and that's why I went to Mike, I'm like, if he can help me with this chart, so we can add.
Yeah, it has ball fields.
Yeah, ball fields are
But
here.
not pickleball.
No, pickleball's missing, but everything else is there.
Well,
Skate park. too.
oh, the skate park too, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, ball fields, there it is. It's right here.
I know.
Well, you have to tilt your
I've
head.
been there for a while. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong.
No, so pickleball and then
skate.
Is our,
There's
Skate.
skateboard on the shelter.
the
Skate park.
mountain bike is not technically,
Oh,
No, but it's a recreation.
right, I'm just saying, we've got it, sorry.
As.
It's a-
We've
It's a
got it
trail.
on the table,
Mm-hmm.
but then nothing's checked.
Oh, I see.
Oh, no, never mind, okay, down, okay. It's down there, it's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry, I was,
So I think the only one that's missing is pickleball.
Is skateboard on
and skateboard.
Okay,
Yeah.
skate park.
there? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that was a, my, I can do a chart. That's a. That's, I'm like, I'm not, I'm doing, so that would be the only thing that we'd have to change, a couple of those things, right?
I could always up the charts too, if you want me
Good job, I know.
to do them all day long.
Yes. So that was that, because I think, did Mike add the Glacier Ridge Conservancy?
He
yet?
did. Yep, he
Yeah.
updated a couple things on here.
It is amazing to see how many parks and how many,
Yeah.
I mean, we really do a lot.
Mhm.
And let's see. And then the next, I didn't know about the power plants,
The power plant?
well, power plants and transmission lines. I
I don't know.
We might have to outsource that.
I have no idea.
I mean, it's still out there. I don't know
Right.
if they've upgraded it or
Well,
anything.
yes, I mean, there's significant
Yeah.
upgrades, I mean, all the
Right.
power lines along 14 and now they go both ways from that substation south of town. Cause now there's the connection from Cardinal, Hickory Creek,
Oh, yeah.
and so all those power lines on 14 are not.
But none of
65
them-
volts.
Okay,
They don't enter the village,
Okay.
yeah, none of them are in the village,
so.
so I'm not really sure why we have to pay much
The
attention
substation
to.
is not.
No, right, right. I would just get rid of all of that.
Electricity and natural gas is still MGE. Telephone and television service, that's kind of a tricky one, only because I think there's so many different, I mean, like, I didn't know, like, I have YouTube TV, like, I didn't know how in depth we wanted to go as far as television series and start streaming and all that stuff, I didn't know. I mean, you can
I
stream-
think I'd go more general. I don't mind with. Just general that, I don't know how you would say it. We have multiple vendors
Yeah.
in telephone and television services. I mean, there's just a million of
Oh,
them.
but I did change it, but I must not have saved it, because I did have it where it says does not have an ordinance in place that governs the location of cell towers. But we do have a cell tower, so I did,
No,
oh, there is one cell tower in the village at this time, yes, we do.
Is,
have one.
is the US Cellular one behind Bill's, is that in the village or not?
It's by the fire station.
No, that one is in the village, but the one.
Yeah,
that's-
I thought we had two.
Oh, okay.
We have one, the fire station is one, and I thought we had one on one of the reservoirs.
Well,
I could be wrong.
isn't, there's the one that's up by the old. Water, right, that's like up on the hill between Gills and the new subdivision that,
That would be our town.
that in the.
No, because Wingra
It's
is not
like,
in
US
ours.
Cellular, that was the original,
It might be.
I don't think that is. We go up to the old quarry and that's it. Wingra is not in the village, I don't.
Whose tower is that, do you know, Seth? Do you know who owns that tower?
the one I'm talking about is US Cellular. The one on fire station's AT&T.
Yeah, but that's in the
Right.
village.
But
I don't think the other one is.
that's what I didn't know with the annexation of new subdivision and annexing the quarry and all that, if that was now part of the village.
No, I don't believe so.
I didn't even think about that one, that's why I had changed it to one, but, so we think one is good then?
We thought the one was on the water tower, or on the, right?
I thought there was one on there,
Yeah.
but I can't say for sure.
We can check. We can find out.
Okay, we'll find.
We'll verify.
Well, if there was, we'd be paying, or we'd be getting,
Right, because you,
Well. On some of them, that is the truth, but I think when we do, like when you do for county and stuff. See, I think it's a tower for our radio, the county system, whatever the emergency services and stuff like that. I don't think it's a commercial one.
Gotcha.
That's
That
what,
makes sense.
that's what I think it is.
Hmm.
It's a tower, but
Yeah.
it's for public
Facilities.
facilities in the county for the repeater system.
That makes sense.
But I don't know, I would think we would have tapped that on to the fire station one, but maybe they have both. Well, it's the hills, you know,
Right.
so I don't know, we just have to check.
Right.
Cemeteries, we still have the two, churches, we still have the two. And then utility and goals. So this I rely on staff to help me as far as our goals for some of those, and I did ask Mike about it, and he thought they looked, when I kind of texted him, he asked him about it, he made it sound like. Or do you feel like we need to change any of the goals or objections? Yeah.
But they're in the park comprehensive plan, aren't they?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in, the chapter that I work on. Natural resources. There's some overlap with the park stuff too, but I don't think it's that big a deal to put it in twice.
oh no, because this one is last 10 years, the park ones are 5 years.
No, this chapter number 2 has some of these things like,
Oh, I see what you're
similar
saying.
goals for parks.
Oh, gotcha, okay. Yeah, no, I don't think so, and that's how it was with a number of things too, yeah.
None of that, it's all the same. Anyway.
Yeah, and I agree with you taking out 14.
Yeah. Yeah, never be gone.
The only question I had here in this section.
Yep.
We were looking to ease the 500-year flood burden on the Black Earth Court. 2 years ago, remember we were looking to buy some property and whatnot.
Yeah, we were.
Is that something we want to add in here?
Like where it says 9, like who we added, like you wanna just.
I thought, didn't my chapter have flood mitigation in it? The map one, for some reason that, I've read that on one of these chapters. Was it in,
We had naturally, the one I wrote too, in natural areas, we put some language in there about, like buffer strips and, permeability. But I'm not sure we really got to the bigger picture, we just sort of said what we can do with that, I think. That's a good point, though, I think that might be something we have to address.
yeah, I
Maybe in
guess
multiple areas.
it would be under stormwater management, that's where it would fall in.
Right, and there is a section in here for that.
Yeah, it does, I'm looking right at it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
there's just a thought.
no, it's a good thought, and that clearly should be part of the comprehensive
Right.
plan. For some, I thought it was maybe in the land use one about having flood mitigation, because flood mitigation, I mean, stormwater management and flood mitigation, you could tie together, but really stormwater management is a little different. That's, you know, coming off the streets and stuff like that, not polluting versus flood mitigation.
Right, well, I think it would be both, right?
Well, generally, when we did the flood mitigation, we never talked about the stormwater pipes or anything, because there's limited to how big of a pipe you can put in. It was more on both ends of the village, and what Bill was talking about is where we're gonna do the small flood mitigation project. The one we wrote, the original grant would have gone all the way up past Enchanted Valley.
Is that what we're talking about?
And then on the west side, it was gonna come down and go along. One part of it was coming along where Pelcher's is, there'd be a big drainage thing, and then when it got towards where the creek was, there'd be, back flow things that would not allow the water to back. Plus on where the water, the sewer plant is, if you look where the stream curves, there would be a ditch that would go straight along 14 until it hit the creek again over by that farm. So there'd be that distance there that they were gonna put up a big, like a big drainage.
Right, but we're also, and maybe PI already did this, but you know, we're also talking about road coming down, water coming down Park Street, Main Street into PI. You know, and keeping that stormwater management.
Yes, and that,
I don't know if that's been done or not.
that's the part that flows from there and would come around, go through where Kelcher's, one outbuildings are and like the fields and stuff. But these were not enclosed piping. This is all flow,
Sure.
open flow, because you can do so much more volume.
Right.
But except for where it hits the creek, and then there were gonna be these wings that open up to let it out, but when it got so back, it would close, so the water couldn't come back off the creek.
But is stormwater management just for piping, or is it?
No, we can, I think, all I'm saying is we can certainly throw it into this, but it's very different, when you would research stormwater management versus flood mitigation, is there some overlapping, but they're really two different topics.
Gotcha, okay.
But we need to have it in there, right?
Yep.
Somewhere, and for some reason I thought I dealt with it, but I could be wrong. Somewhere I read about flood mitigation. But anyways, that's a good point. We need to have it in here somewhere.
I can in the line, I mean, we can get to how to word it.
Well, we want to do a lot. That should be another I would put it underneath that as flood mitigation, because it's a whole different thing. And even with stormwater management, you can actually do a utility for that and get funding. You know, you can use Middleton's trying to raise their stormwater utility. You can't do that with flood mitigation. They're all connected.
Right.
It's a Middleton stormwater utility. Covering flood mitigation.
No, that's what I'm saying. It is not. Because it has to be within the jurisdiction. And flood mitigation is rarely you're able to do it within the jurisdiction. You just don't have the volume.
I think the pheasant branch there. All that stuff they've done.
Well, they could be working on what goes through, but I
I know what you're talking about, where on Brewery, I just.
no, but even on Middleton, while they're working in trying to control flood damage and stuff, they're not actually, I would not say they're in the true sense of doing flood mitigation. But I could be wrong. I'm not tied in. All I know is there's stormwater utilities, they're trying to bump that up to bring in more revenue. So that is a separate thing. And maybe you can do flood mitigation with that. I always thought it had to be within the jurisdiction where you're pulling money from.
So my one question for the group was, as far as number 7, do we want, 17, I'm sorry. Do we want to leave working with the school district to locate a future high school within the village limits? Do we want to leave that in? Do we want to take that out? I don't know.
And again, that we talked about once before. I had that once.
And,
And I don't remember what chapter that was in.
right.
And I forgot what was our decision on
Because I
that.
think we said yes.
Did we say yes?
I'd like it to stay.
Huh?
I'd like it to stay.
Yeah, that's fine. I just remember we discussed it once before.
Right, and I think.
And
we
I
said,
don't
let's
remember
leave
what
it
the
out.
outcome was.
And then on 20, I wasn't sure where it says areas may be served by one pressure zone above it, and are we still in pressure zone? Yeah,
Yes, we're in one
okay,
pressure zone right now.
Okay.
One water system, yes.
okay.
But if we put another water area.
The plan is to go, when we put in a new reservoir, the plan is to go to a 2-zone system.
Right,
Mhm.
that's what I thought, okay.
North was conduct a municipality space needed study. I mean, that's all, I took all of that out.
Yeah.
We were ready to have all of that.
Yeah.
But then I didn't know if we want to say anything about it. That's why I said, Jay, what else should we say? Do you want to say anything about it, or do we want to? Or do we want to
Well, I
describe it?
see
Do we
that
want to
more
say
as
we-
accomplishing a goal from the last comprehensive, so we can mention it in
Okay,
that setting. But I'm not sure what we would be doing unless
I didn't know if
things,
we wanted to
unless
just
things
put the
fall apart,
address
but-
on it, like, okay, we have identified an address, and we have identified, I didn't know.
So
But I'm great to get.
is there a time frame set yet?
yeah.
Why don't we just add that? Like, just like, you know, we referenced the library, you referenced the fire
Yeah, we
station,
could do that.
you know, reference that, you know, we're planning on building a new village hall police station at this address.
Yeah, I'm trying to, this won't go into effect until 2026.
You can put that on there, right?
No, the comprehensive
Yeah,
plan is
right.
2026, and I'm hoping the building is built by 2026. So it's not a future thing, it'd be a completed thing.
You can extend it.
Yeah.
Before the-
I'm trying to do the timing because that's kind of how we have this timed out, that this plan would be finished in 2026.
Sure.
I didn't know if we want to just say we address
Well,
an address.
Why don't we just leave this at, take it out and then we'll know where we're at when we get near a final copy and we can just decide. There's no sense spending a whole lot of time on it right now.
Um, And again, I leaned a little bit like for the Ice Age trail with you guys, and that's also the same as far as the second step.
Well, I think, didn't we on the one point about the pool? Hasn't that already been decided that we're looking to do it at the land near Bear Park?
Mhm.
I
That's
thought
what the
we took-
comment
I
was
thought
here.
the board took a
Right.
vote on
Where
it.
do you see that on the?
It says study available new locations
But the
and designs for
physical-
municipal, moving it from municipal park. We might have told where we're going with it,
Mhm.
right?
What do we call that area?
I
You could just
call
say at
it
Bear Park.
Bear Park, and I think it's open space.
East Bear Park.
Yeah.
Bear Park's so big, and now there's geographical
I'm so old,
references.
I call it the Beekner Farm.
Yeah, that's
There
better,
you go.
yeah.
Salsa.
Yeah, there you go. Right, and that's why I had that in there. Okay, so that, I will do that. Construction of dog park in the village, do we want to still leave that?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
Perfect. And then I did add about the Champions Run at this time, Champions Arena, maybe located, I don't know.
And are they really gonna call it St. Francis Drive? Do you know that?
That's what he said
Right.
at church. He said it's
Okay.
gonna be St. Francis Drive.
The one thought we had was, should we include the name since it's a private complex? Do we wanna still?
Well,
call it-
here's what I'm gonna. Champion Arena is the ice arena, and I'm not sure.
It's not ice anymore. It's not an ice, it's just a
Well,
facility.
I know, but there were two different groups. There was Jim
Oh,
Nunn
yeah.
with the athletic facility. And then Champion Arena for the ice park. Now, it sounds like Jim is moving forward. Are they calling that? Is he taking in the name of Champion Arena?
Correct,
That's my
yes.
understanding.
Yes.
Okay,
And they were at the meeting together when I learned all this, and at the moment, there's no ice rink at all. The first phase is just for baseball, basketball and, track, a walking track, and
yeah,
everything else.
okay,
And then-
the athletic facility, okay.
Right.
Well, then if that's what they're calling, I'm fine. When
Right.
I see that, I'm going back to where the
Yeah.
ice arena was Champion Arena. Jim's
Yeah,
thing was
no.
some athletic facility, something.
They both were at the meeting that I was at, and they both said the same, so.
Okay,
So where's this going now?
right, you
St.
know.
Francis Drive. Just kidding.
Yeah, you know where the pine trees are, on P, where the football field is, it'll be to the, west of the football field. Basically,
East.
east of it, I'm sorry.
Every school is west of that.
No, it would be to the east of the football field. Just behind the pine would be where the pine trees end, that's where they would
When you
go.
pull into the St. Francis parking lot, almost to the right to the
Yeah.
right.
Gotcha, okay,
Part of the drive would go into that back parking lot.
okay.
I would advocate being more generic with the description rather than
Okay.
trying to say the name of it and a specific road name that doesn't exist. Just describe it more generically, because if it changes, then it's like, well, then the people look at this plan, what?
Yours.
The bigger question though, is this is a village plan, that's a private facility. What's our role in it? And if the role is, we don't have a role, then I think we just list it as a amenity, a private amenity, and we don't say anything about it at all. And it's true.
We're not questioning that.
Yeah,
It's gonna be, if there's gonna be a marriage between the village and the private facility, then we might leave it, but if there isn't, then.
they have not talked on this new model, they have not talked about it, but I don't, unless they've come up with it, I don't know what their operational plan is. So it would not
And
surprise
open
me.
to the public.
Yeah, but what, so there may be at some point some type of partnership.
So right, I think we can list this as an amenity.
Yes, I would agree with you
And,
right now.
and then, but not necessarily programming or the village, is involved with programming. Yeah, and if it comes up, it comes up. We can do things that are
Yeah,
adjacent to this plan. It's fine.
yeah,
It's
no,
not like we can't say, no, we can't do it because it's not.
Would you just leave what it says right there, the feasibility, because do we wanna leave the review of the feasibility and appropriate, do you wanna leave that?
oh yeah, you could just get rid of that last sentence.
I think,
Yes.
I think that makes more sense.
Let's leave
Get rid of
it,
the second sentence.
okay,
And you might wanna, maybe even say review the feasibility and appropriate design, but then something about working with partners or something, because that's really what this would be, a partnership.
Yeah,
And I think it's a good potential partnership, and
yeah, absolutely.
that would be a village role, would be to talk to the private partner. To make it work.
okay.
Village Luke Trail,
I know.
that thing? Let it out for proposal?
It exists in the park and open space plan to try to create a loop or loops.
I'm not saying, yeah.
Yeah, it was something that we talked about trying to connect things.
Yeah,
Right, I mean, that's similar to when I was talking in the transportation section.
Right.
Okay, so I just didn't know what it's in caps. I guess I didn't know that there was that proposed village loop trail officially designated.
yeah, your H and U caps, like it. That's the name of it.
Right, right, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so too.
feasible. Especially when we're villages like this.
I don't think we should mention anything about enrollment because it's actually up this year from last year.
Mhm.
It just goes up and down every year, so why even?
Oh, that does, they kept me spending, it's down.
Well, it's down from their peaks, but if you look at, from my understanding, from last year to this year, the numbers are up. At least that's what the report did.
Yeah, I saw the same report.
Huh?
No, that's what Dan shared with us.
Yeah,
Okay, let's see. And then when it says ongoing, I don't know, should we just change the dates on those? It's like where it says, well, considering establishing a stormwater utility 2020, do you want me? Where it says stormwater management, right there, the date, the 2020.
where are you seeing that?
Right in the middle.
Right here.
Oh, okay. Oh, now I see it, the bottom line.
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, there's a couple old dates in there, like
right,
four.
Well, yeah, we gotta get rid of those.
right.
That is something that, the board, I would take the date out and just leave that as an ongoing.
I got it. And honestly, for the police protection also, it's just ongoing.
Yeah, I'd get rid of those dates.
Yeah, thank you. And then we're gonna take out the village hall and rest.
Mhm.
And Parks and Rec excited.
Well, now Parks and Rec, you should talk to,
Mike did that.
oh, he
Mike
did 24 to 20, okay,
He did,
'cause I
yeah.
know they're working on one.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
It'd be a 5-year one, so that could
He
stay.
did all that.
Oh, okay.
What he thinks there.
Yeah.
And then, Yeah, I didn't know about that.
No, I'll get rid of that.
Okay, perfect. And one, two, okay, we're good with that. That's it, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome.
Mhm.
I was just thinking, the power line, I thought about the sort of power plant's transmission line. At one point, and I'm not sure if I didn't read that, I think it's already fine. Do we have anything in there about potential solar?
No,
Oh, that's a good thing, because we have,
We talked about it when we did more than talk about it.
yeah, we did 2 offers already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And,
I'm trying to think, does that go under resources? So you didn't have it in your chapter, anything on solar now?
well, that was natural resources. And
Well, isn't
So
that
there's a section in here. for
on energy
facilities.
or something?
There's a section here, electricity and natural gas. Can you add solar to that?
Yeah, okay.
It's like a little mini power plant.
Yeah, you kind of, I mean, I agree with you, I'm just trying to figure out where we put that in. Because that was I mean, like I say, we had 2 offers out there. To have it happen, and we were very close. So I think there should be some mention of, we're always exploring,
Renewable
yeah.
energy sources.
Yeah,
That the goal for that was in the sustainability plan. So
there
that's
you
where
go.
I'll pull it from, that's what it is.
There you go. All righty, very good.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Maybe there's something in reference to that, but you're doing the comprehensive plan rather than just even citing a community solar site, if you wanted to. Just an option, mention things about putting solar on village facilities would be something that was planned also, and not just just throwing it around.
No, it's a really good idea. We should be,
That's referenced in the sustainability.
yeah, and I'm just wondering, where I'm thinking of is having just a separate section here of the comprehensive plan, which pretty much puts in the majority of the sustainability plan. Why recreate? We've got this plan, let's just put it in and it becomes part of the comprehensive plan.
That's a
Well, you got
clean,
an
easy way to do it.
Yes,
Just a sustainability section.
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Or appendix, either way,
Listen, it wouldn't be more, we literally put
be a
it
full
in.
chapter.
Yeah, well, I mean, we may take out some of the stuff that's not applicable, that's already been done. I can't remember what's all in there, to be honest with you, but what I would do is just basically transfer it over and get rid of the stuff that's not applicable anymore. Cause that plan has gotta be going on 5-6 years old, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Wow.
Well, I thought it came on when I was village president in 2019. That's when I thought,
No,
it was after.
It was that, yeah, that wasn't.
And the committee started when we were in this room before we were in the library, that I remember. So the committee started, but it took a while to get the plan.
Yeah, it took us, we did like a survey and all this stuff.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was like 3 or 3, maybe.
It would have been like 22.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
21 at the latest, 22, summer of 21
Huh.
probably in that plan.
See, I would have swore when Bill and I was working on the solar farms. For us, that was part of that plan we were working off of.
Well, yeah, and some of that might have even done before the plan was done, because there was just Bill had a big push just trying to get a solar project anyway, like Bill was really.
Yeah, I know he was. That's where I'm coming from. And Bill was here 3 years and Brian was 2.5.
The draft plan was 21, we probably adopted it in 22.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So then it's gonna be pretty up to date.
But the point is, the point is good, which is somebody could pull that down and push it into this plan and have its own section and be really useful.
Yeah, agreed.
And I suspect that maybe we could have Melissa, the chair of that committee,
Well, give it a whirl. I'm the chair of that.
You're in chair now. Oh, so we got, he just raised his hand.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's why I was saying, I put on our next sustainability agenda, develop the plan for inclusion in a chapter.
There you go. Perfect.
It's actually in the state sustainability plan to update the target.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how this actually got started.
So, no, we got.
There we go, the chicken and the egg there. All right, anything else? Otherwise, do I have a motion for adjournment?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion to adjourn in a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. We'll move. Kevin, I have a question for you. You know, the Ice Age Trail